Mr. Chairman, Excellencies, symbolic moment this one for United Nations, the celebration of 80 years, and for us, Portuguese, 70 years of membership. The time of judgment, of compromise, of renewal, multilateral ambition. Portugal is today what always aspired to be, an open country to the world, listening, dialoguing, building bridges, deeply multilateralist and guided by the Charter of United Nations. A world with more cooperation and respect for international law is safer, more predictable, stable, peaceful, prosperous, plural, representative, and able to respond collectively to global challenges. 70 years ago, we were living still in dictatorship. And we found in this community the space to rediscover the real values and contributing to global solutions. And even now, in a changed world, fragmented, polarized, unpredictable, this community is a key community to defend basic principles of a coexistence between nations, cultures, civilizations. And it is with this coherence and the sense of responsibility, with the conscience of the need of contributing, acting, and deciding, guided by values and principles, that will be candidates to the Security Council in 27-28, a decision we formalized in 2013. Excellencies, let me pay tribute to the former President of the General Assembly for his support to the adoption of the Pact for the Future. Let me congratulate the present President of this session, wishing the success in her term. But I would very specifically, and in Portuguese this time, say a word about the remarkable work of the Secretary-General António Guterres. O seu humanismo, his humanism, o apego ao direito internacional, his attachment to international law, as reformas por que tem lutado, the reforms that he's been defending since 2017, que inclui agora o UN 80, o Pacto para o Futuro, UN 80 and the Pact for the Future, são a sua marca e o seu legado. His mark and legacy. It is a pride for me, é orgulho para mim, having a Portuguese as Secretary-General of the United Nations, ter português como Secretário-Geral das Nações Unidas. Someone that is projecting a Portuguese way of acting in international relations. Uma forma portuguesa de estar nas relações internacionais. He will always be supported by Portugal. Contará sempre com o apoio de Portugal. And I must congratulate him for his speech. Because he said, I will never give up. I know him ever since we were teenagers. He never gave up, ever. And he's right. It's true we live at a time of multiple crises and persistent crises. Division, polarization, violations of international law, cleavage between power exercise and responsibility, technology and ethics, urgency of crisis and capacity of response and action. United Nations faces an existential moment. Without change, without renewal, the United Nations will be marginalized, and we could be left to the law of force. No G1, no G2, no G3, no G1 plus 1, 1 plus 2, or 2 plus 1 will be an alternative. No absence of multilateralism will avoid the need of multilateralism. The world is multipolar, will be multipolar. Just think of the situation in Ukraine, or the situation in Middle East, in Ukraine, for years, and now for months, for 8 months, one is waiting the mediation of the most powerful in the world. Do we have a ceasefire? No, we don't. In the case of Middle East, we waited and waited and waited for the intervention of the most powerful in the world. Did we have a ceasefire? Without the multipolar, multilateral intervention of so many countries, here in New York, with the recognition of the existence of the state of Palestine, some Europeans, others non-Europeans, we won't change soon. This means we need United Nations, we need multilateralism, we need dialogue between countries from every continent. And the same for international law. We need international law. We need international law for the reform of United Nations. We need international law as a foundation of peace and justice. A world governed by rules is a safer and more predictable and equitable world. We need a Charter of United Nations as a common compass. Of course, we must adjust United Nations, but we must never forget the lesson of the League of Nations. When one forgets the principles, when one abandons the principles on account of pure realpolitik, I mean the power or the powers of the moment, one forgets that no power is eternal. No personality is eternal. Empires went up and went down. We know by experience it. Colonial empires, European empires inside Europe, all kinds of empires went up and went down. We believe that in the reform of United Nations, we have 3 pillars: prevention, partnership, and protection. Preemptive action before the conflict, not just afterwards. Mediation, preventive diplomacy, intervention of the Secretary General and of the PBC. Avoiding destruction and institution collapse. Building peace, fighting against the deep causes of violence, promoting resilient and peaceful societies. But development, peace building without development, preventive action without development, doesn't work. We co-presided, together with an African partner, Burundi, the preparation of the 4th conference on financing of development. Ideas, dialogue, determination, results. Without sustainable development, no lasting peace is possible. Never forget to implement the 2030 agenda and the reform of the international financial architecture. It's a priority involving the digital, the space, the artificial intelligence technologies as force for peace, not tools for domination. Bridging the digital and technological divides as central to build resilient societies. C'est aussi très fier que nous partageons la priorité des océans, la priorité du changement du climat. On peut parler contre le changement du climat, mais on admet tout de suite qu'il y a ce changement. Et c'est pourquoi on a préparé l'UNOC 2 à Lisbonne. On a été à l'UNOC 3 à Nice. On a renouvelé notre compromis avec la protection des océans. Des premiers États européens à ratifier le traité BBNG. Protégeons 27% de notre sur face maritime, juste à une distance de 3% de l'objectif en 2030. Excellencies, speaking of the appeal of partnership, the United Nations must deepen partnerships, strategic partnerships with regional organizations. Portugal has the experience that is very specific. Nós temos a experiência da comunidade de países de língua portuguesa, the experience of the Portuguese-speaking community, present in 9 countries, 4 continents, 1 language, presentes em 9 países, 4 continentes, uma língua, uma plataforma com voz própria na ONU. Nós acolhemos o Fórum Global da Aliança das Civilizações. We received the Forum for the Alliance of Civilizations. Also, the UN Conference on Racism. Portugal organizou a primeira conferência da ONU sobre racismo. E promovemos a aplicação da Declaração de Durban em todo o mundo. Nós outros formamos parte da comunidade ibero-americana. Portugal se siente hermano de América Latina, compartiendo prioridades comunes como el multilateralismo inclusivo, el desarrollo sostenible y la cohesión social. A nossa parceria, our partnership with the Global South, is made of respect and solidarity. Lançamos as primeiras cimeiras União Europeia e União Africana. We have had the initiative of the first and second summits between European Union and the African Union. We cooperate actively with the PMA, SITS, and LLDC. At the same time, we think that protecting means also protecting the role of women, youth as agents of change, the access to education, leadership, political participation. The world needs more women and more youngsters as leaders in the procedures of decision. Third pillar, protection. We participate for 65 years in peacekeeping. Thousands of armed forces and security forces participated in 25 missions in 4 continents, mostly in Africa. Peacekeeping now with 4 peace operations, a quick reaction force, punctual payment, example of intervention in every continent, defense of a predictable and stable financing, including for the missions that are promoted by Security Council or accepted by Security Council, but initiative of African Union. This year, we celebrate the 25th anniversary of the additional protocol to the Convention of Rights of Children involved in armed conflicts. It's a drama. It's a drama. Children going on being victims in every war scenario. We have the legal duty, the political and the moral duty of protecting them. And then, of course, humanitarian international law. One spoke of it, about the situation in areas of conflict. Geneva Conventions are not suggestions. They involve duties. We participated in the 6th Commission preparing the Convention on Crimes Against Humanity. Human rights. Human rights. Human rights mean personal rights, political rights, freedom of expression, economic rights, social, cultural rights, universal interdependent, and inseparable. Não podemos ficar indiferentes. We cannot be indifferent concerning major crises. We just declared our decision of recognizing the state of Palestine. In the Middle East, now we think that the following step is creating conditions for a ceasefire, immediately releasing the hostages, humanitarian assistance, but also creating political, economic, and social conditions to strengthen the solution of two sovereign states, rebuilding economies and societies, giving an opportunity to peace, to the daily life of Israelis and Palestinians, so that they can live, not die. Live, not die. In Ukraine, sovereignty, independence, and integrity with global total ceasefire, immediate and unconditional, first step for a fair peace, respecting international law and respecting the Charter of the United Nations. In Sudan, intervening to react much more quickly to perhaps the greatest humanitarian catastrophe in Africa. En Haïti, où les souffrances de la population ne sont plus tenables, face aux atrocités barbares des gangs criminels et le recrutement d'enfants soldats, une assistance décisive de l'ONU à la mission multinationale de soutien à la sécurité avant qu'il ne soit trop tard. Excelências, no momento em que assistimos ao maior número de conflitos armados desde a criação das Nações Unidas, estamos disponíveis para assumir responsabilidades acrescidas como uma voz global no Conselho de Segurança. Com a experiência de uma história de serviço, com as lições aprendidas nas últimas décadas, com a proximidade com todos os Estados aqui representados, sem discriminações. E por isso, no Conselho de Segurança, agiremos prevenindo, criando parcerias e protegendo, defendendo a reforma do Conselho de Segurança, tornando mais representativo e eficaz, refletindo a geopolítica do século XXI e não a de 1945, com presença africana permanente, CIDs representados e reconhecimento de grandes potências emergentes como o Brasil e a Índia, com mais transparência, Conselho mais plural e coerente com a letra e espírito da Carta. Em 2024, o Conselho reuniu mais vezes do que desde 1989 e, no entanto, tendo reunido mais vezes, menos deliberações aprovou e mais vetou deliberações, mesmo implicando o sofrimento de pessoas concretas em todo o mundo. É incompreensível que o uso do veto continue a paralisar decisões essenciais perante o sofrimento humano. A Carta é clara. Uma parte no conflito não pode ser juiz no próprio caso. Portugal apoia o Código de Conduta do Grupo ACT, as medidas de restrição ao uso do veto, todas as iniciativas que reforcem a transparência e a prestação de contas dentro do Conselho. Excellencies, a last word. Portugal is presenting itself to the Security Council without hidden agendas, but rather with an agenda aligned with the values and objectives of the UN, with humility, but with confidence, contributing to a council that is more effective, representative, and close to those who expect protection from it. We are a predictable country, a bridge builder, a reliable partner, an uncompromising defender of the UN Charter, It is in this spirit that we want to serve, that we reaffirm our commitment to be United Nations today, and that we hope will earn your trust for the future of the United Nations, but mostly for the future of the world. More peaceful, more just, more respectful of dignity, human dignity, in so many conflicts that represent a shame for all of us. Thank you.